Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
For the first 30 seconds of our work, it's just going to be little pendulum arms and little bounces of the knees. So you're going to swing one arm up, swing arm on down, and then however you coordinate your knees, if they just lift as your arms lift or whatever works good for you here, let your arms pump. Notice, how do your shoulders feel? How do your knees feel? Can you start right away breathing in and out through your nose? Go nice and slow just to kind of kick it off and ask your body how it's feeling. And then when you're ready, take it into some twists with a little bit of a light fist and tap. So you're going to take your fist, hit your hips with a gentle thump. And then kind of notice here, how do your feet feel? How do your ankles feel? We've got some feet and ankle work today. So just kind of check in. How are your feet feeling? How do your toes feel? Still breathing in and out through your nose if you can. And time, nicely done. Okay, now we're going to take it into a little standing cat-cow with our arms. So as you open your arms, your chest is going to lift and your chin is going to lift. And then as you hug your arms in, you're going to round your back and tuck your chin in. And then you're going to switch arms. So arms are going to open nice and wide. Other arm is going to come on top, give a little hug round through the back of the body. So the point of this is to move the spine. So you're going to open the chest, a little flexion and extension, round the back of the body, and then notice your breath. Big inhale as you open your arms. Exhale as you hug your arms in, but still keep breathing in and out through your nose if you can. Let your knees bend with you. Let any bit of movement here that helps you find that little bit of a rounding of the back and the arching of your back. Okay, now step your feet slightly wide, and now we're going to do little side bends, but we're reaching towards the knee pit. So you're going to side bend, but with a slight gentle back bend, or just that what we're shooting to find is not a rounding forward, but a slight arching back. So we're just going to dip to one side, dip to the other side. It doesn't matter if you can touch the knee pit or side of the knee, but we just want that nice action of moving the spine from side to side. And time, nicely done. Okay, last minute warm up. We're taking it into some tippy toe walk forward and heel walks backwards. So lift your heels, start to tippy toe your walk forward. And once you hit the front end of your mat, pick up your toes and the balls of the feet, walk on your heels, walking backwards. And then if you've got stuff on your mat, use that as a little bit of an obstacle course to kind of navigate around some stuff so that you find a little bit of challenge in this minute warm up. Heel walk backwards, tippy toe walk forwards. And of course, I say if you have stuff on your mat, but if it's dangerous, don't do it. If you want to be safe, safety first, always. 20 seconds left. And then once you've got that going on, if you can, avoid looking down at your feet, keep your eyes forward so you know where you are connected to the space that you're working in. Can you navigate that space without looking at your feet? We got 3 seconds left. And time, nicely done. Okay, now we're going to take our hand towel, we're going to fold it in half again, and then fold it in half one more time. So we want a sort of a long, skinny little mound, but we want enough space so that our feet could be on it with our feet about hip width distance apart. So that's what we're shooting for. If you need to renegotiate your towel in any way that makes sense to your space, to your body, or to your towel, do the little fixes that you need to. We're going to go toes and the balls of the feet on the towel, and then we're just lifting our heels up, lowering with control. We want to try to maintain a good even space between our heels and our ankles. If you feel like this is not quite enough work, you're going to grab your hand weights and load up. But if it feels good to be here, find that little bit of challenge. So your heels should be going slightly past the edge of the towel, touching down to the ground. Lift and lower with control. A slight sense of firmness in your abdomen. Nice. You're already halfway there. And then ask yourself, does this feel like just the right amount of challenge? You're already halfway there. Are you feeling that little bit of burn in your calf muscles, or do you need that little extra bit of work? Grab your hand weights real quick. We still got 15 seconds left, so load up if you need that extra bit. Five seconds left. Woo! And time. Okay, step your feet off, give your feet a good shake. And now we're going to put the towel to one side, and you can double it up if you want to, but know that that will create a bigger challenge. So we're going to do a slightly uneven stance squat, and then we're going to take it into a standing balance. So you're going to put one foot on, one foot off, squat, lean onto the foot that's on your towel, pick up your knee, give a little knee lift, set it down and into your squat. But it's not going to be a pause and hold. So you're just going to transfer your weight onto the towel foot, squat, pick up the knee and set it down. We got 30 seconds on this side, but if your balance is way off and you're not getting any work there, you'll squat and step the foot off the towel, stand on your solid leg. So we got 30 seconds. Find the work that makes the most sense to you. The foot that's on the towel is going to get a bit of challenge. It should be sort of a slightly uneven surface. So you're going to engage your core muscles, pick that knee up, and then right back to your squat. Nice job. 10 seconds left on this side. All right, when you're ready, we're going to switch our foot. So you're just going to step across, put your other foot on, find your stance, and then away we go. Squat, pick up your knee and hold for just a second, and then right back into your squat. One side might be very different from the other, so you may choose to go for the more solid standing foot. So you take the variation that makes the most sense to your body this morning. Ten seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, next up, we're doing a catch and release. So you're going to grab your hand towel. You're going to go one thumb to your cheek or to your ear, and you're going to catch in midair and switch. So you're going to switch your hands. You're going to release the towel out in front of you, catch it with your other hand. Don't worry if it falls. If it falls, that just gives you a little extra bit of work to pick it up. You can keep your knees soft. You can let your torso move with you, but we want to bring the hand to the ear, catch and release. Go with a little bit of precision, keep your eyes forward. And then as you start to pick up the pace in your work here, can you keep breathing in and out through your nose? You're already halfway there. Nice job. Five seconds left. If you're wearing sneakers, you're going to take a second to kick them off real quick. All right, now we're taking it into a towel slam. We're going to go 30 seconds with one foot, 30 seconds the other. So you're going to slam it down. You're going to try to pick it up with your toes, and we're going to try to stick with that foot for 30 seconds. I know not everybody's toes like to do this work. So if you don't want to do the catch and release with your toes, do the slam, scrunch up your toes, pick up your towel, do the slam, scrunch up your toes, pick up your towel. So you can avoid the pickup if that doesn't work for you. If you like the pickup, pick it up. But if the pickup doesn't work, skip that part, do the toe crunch, get that toe crunch work in without the frustration of trying to get that towel to do your work for you. Nice. All right, when you're ready, switch over to the other foot. Towel slam, pick it up with your toes, or just do the toe scrunch. So one foot might be different from the other. So just do the part that makes sense. Slam, that's really good for the emotional support of our workout. And then scrunch up the toes. Whether or not you pick it up doesn't really matter. 7 seconds left. And time, nicely done. Okay, now we're gonna grab the towel. We're gonna hold it in a long waist configuration. We're gonna hold it in front of the chest and we're gonna take it into alternating lunges. So we're gonna lunge back, arms are gonna lift. First 30 seconds, we're going just arms to chest height with a little bit of a tug on that towel. So we wanna keep a bit of tension, pulling apart. If rear lunges don't feel good for you, take it into a front lunge. That's okay. We want to make sure we stay in a safe lunging position. If your lunges tend to feel a little bit wobbly, step it back but wide, and that might help you find that stability and support. And then you can dip that knee down, get your legs nice and strong. You've got it. Nice job. 5 more seconds with the towel up and down in front of the chest. All right, now we're going to take it into a twist. So you're going to rotate towards the front knee, step into your lunge, rotate, and then switch to the other side. You've got it. As you start using those big muscles, can you keep breathing in and out through your nose, or have you switched over to breathing through your mouth? There's no right or wrong, but just notice. 5 seconds left. And time, beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna take our looping resistance band. We're gonna step into it around our ankles or around our calves, just depending on which feels like a better position. You can also do it around your thighs. The thighs, though, you get less of a challenge. So if you're looking for light work, put it up around your thighs. If you're looking for more challenging work, put it below the knee joint. And now we're gonna go sideways monster walks. So we're gonna stay in a low squatty position. You're going to do about 3 big giant steps to one side and then 3 big giant steps to the other side. We've got 1 minute on the clock. If this doesn't feel like enough work for you, grab your towel, hold it out in front of you at the chest. Keep that good tension on the whole time. Keep that low squatted position, step sideways, and then switch to the other side. Nice job. Got 20 seconds left here. Next up, it's going to be a staggered stance deadlift, and you're going to choose whether you put the towel under the front working leg or the back staggered stance leg. That's just going to be, back leg is going to give you more challenge of balance. Front leg is going to give you a little bit more challenge of tension on the muscle line along the back of the leg. All right, so take your towel, pause for just a minute, fold it in half, fold it in half again, and then fold it one more time. So we want as much of a little fold as we can get. Place that towel on the ground. We're going to step out of our looping resistance band. It's going to be 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other. So I'm going to talk you through it before I even set the timer. You're going to take your looping resistance band, whether or not you want the foot on the towel or your staggered stance on the towel, you'll choose your own adventure there. Looping resistance band around the foot. I'll start with foot on the towel. So we're going to go ball and the toe on. You're going to do a cross body deadlift with a staggered stance. So you're going to stagger your stance. You're going to do your little cross body deadlift with that pulse in the middle. So you're going to do that halfway hip hinge and then come all the way up. Now, if you want a bigger challenge, you're going to add a little hand weight. So you're going to also hold your looping band and the hand weight to add that little extra bit. So it's going to be that halfway pulse and then come all the way up. If you want to challenge your balance more than anything else, put your back foot on the towel, looping resistance band under the front foot. Same work applies, but the towel under the back foot is going to give you that more challenge of balance. So choose the one you like best. We've got 30 seconds on one foot and then we'll switch to the other foot. So pick your poison and then away we go. Halfway up with the pulse and then come all the way up. I said 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other, but I was wrong. I wasn't even reading my own notes right. We're doing a full minute here, so you got this. Ten seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, step your foot out. Take a second to shake anything out that you need to. Now we're going to switch to the other side. For the sake of balance here, you probably want to do the same thing on each side. But if you're really working on balance on one leg and you want to go uneven foot, staggered stance, towel under the foot, do what feels best to you. We got 1 minute on the clock. Place your foot in the loop. Foot on the towel, front or back, totally up to you. It's a cross body hold. So opposite hand to opposite foot. Go for that halfway pulse in the middle and then come all the way up. Nice job. You're already halfway there. Five seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, now we're coming down to a seated position. We're going to take our folded up towel width and our looping resistance band. So we're going to sit onto our butts. We're going to take that towel and we're going to get as much of a little roll as we can. So it just supports the bend of our knee. So you're going to place the towel under one knee and then grab your looping resistance band. You're going to loop it around. So we're going to go think Barbie foot, right? We're going to do a little point and flex of the foot, but we're going to put a little bit of tension around the toes. So lift your toes and spread your toes just a little bit, and then go for that point and flex of the foot. This one is 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other. So get as much tension on your looping resistance band as you can, so you really work through the foot and the ankle. Ten seconds left on this foot. Now check your breathing. You've come down from using those big muscles. Things might be slowing down. Now can you start to bring the breath in and out through your nose again? All right, when you're ready, we're going to lift up and off, switch to the other side. Put that towel under the bend of your knees, get the looping resistance band around the bottom of your foot, and then go for that Barbie foot maneuver. So a little bit of a tension on the toes, and then we point and flex the foot. And we want to think foot going forward, foot coming in. So not going off to the left, not going off to the right, just straight forward and back. We got 30 seconds on this side. Do the work at your pace. Ten seconds left. And time. Awesome. Okay, unloop your foot, move your gear just a little off to the side. We're going to come around into an elbows and forearms plank position or low plank position. And then we're going to add a saw. So just depending on how your shoulders are feeling this morning might vary up what you choose to do with your work here. Start with the saw position. So find that low plank, elbows and forearms down. You may choose to just stay in a static form, but if it feels good, now you're going to take it into a little rocking forward and back. Notice how your shoulders feel here. We got 30 seconds of work here. Keep a little bit of attention on your abdominal muscles. So we want to keep the belly slightly firm. Rock forward, rock back. We want to keep that nice broadness in the shoulder. Yes, you guys look amazing. Nice job. Okay, now see how it feels to walk your saw. So elbows are going to do the walking, walk into a dolphin shape. So you come like the body's coming to downward facing dog, and then walk back forward into that planking position. 30 seconds of work here. If you get that walk going on and it doesn't feel good to your shoulders, leave that part off. Maybe you just go back to the saw or stay in a more static position. We got 10 seconds left, whichever variation you're choosing. And time, nice job. Okay, now we're gonna come into a side lying position and we're gonna take our towel and put it down at the end where our feet are going to be. So put your towel down at one end, that's where your feet are gonna be. Come into your side lying position. The top leg is gonna hop, cross over, and the bottom leg is gonna do the work. So the bottom leg is gonna hop over the towel. So you're just gonna lift up, hop over, lift up, hop over. Yes, so we got 1 minute on the clock here. Go nice and slow and steady. I like the leg on top being in front, but you could reposition it behind you if that gives you more room to move. So find the placement of that foot that feels the best to you. We want that bottom leg, inner thigh doing the work. So that's where we should feel the work coming from. You may actually also feel it on the outer edge of your thigh. So don't be like, well, hang on a second, I'm feeling it in a different place. Don't worry about that too much. Upper body still wants to try to stay pretty stable. So we want to brace the shoulders, keep the ribs lifting away from the floor, keep the belly slightly firm, but most of that work is happening with that bottom leg. Nice job, 5 seconds left. And time. Okay, we'll stay on this side. Now we're just gonna bend both knees, lift the top leg up. Upper body's gonna stay as stable as it can. And we're just gonna drive that top knee forward and back. So you're gonna move it as far forward and as far back as you can. As you reach back, almost wanna go for a little bit of reach where you feel a little stress in that front pocket area. So we really wanna kick that foot back, but in a really nice controlled manner. So we drive the knee forward, we push the knee back, but keep the upper body as stable as you can. Nice job. Last 20 seconds. If this doesn't feel like enough work, grab a hand weight, load it on the side of your thigh. Give yourself that little extra bit of resistance. Five seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're flipping it around to the other side. You spin yourself around in the way that makes sense. I'm putting my towel down at the other end, so I'm facing out to you. We're going bottom leg doing the work, top leg hops up and over, and then you brace that top leg or keep it in a nice stable position or step it behind you and get it out of the way. So find the place where you have room to work the bottom leg. The upper body stays nice and stable. You're already halfway there. Five seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, now we're going to bend both legs. Once you've got the legs bent, that top leg is going to lift up. The leg drives forward. The leg drives back. We keep the upper body as stable as we can. Feel free to load up with a weight if that feels like it needs that little extra something. But you may have noticed that once you hit that 30-second mark working on the other side, the leg starts to feel a little bit more fatigued. So at first it might feel pretty easy. And then you might find that challenge once you hit that 30-second mark. Nice work. You guys look awesome. 25 seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, we're flipping onto our back. We're going to take our towel with us. We're going to move our towel into a more long position so that we can hold it in a tension across the chest. And then we're going to go into some hip bridges. However, if you wanted a little bit more challenge for the bottom half of the body, you might choose to take your towel and put it underneath your feet to create a little bit of an unstable surface. The challenge today without the unstable surface is you're going to keep your arms up, pulling apart of the chest. Feet are going to be about hip width distance apart or maybe slightly wider, just depending on how it feels in your butt muscles. And then we're going to lift up and squeeze, and we're going to go for the triple squeeze. We're going to lift up at the top, squeeze, 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 try to hold that squeeze and lower down. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Take the work at your pace. The big focus here is on that squeeze of the butt muscles. So you're going to lift your butt up, squeeze, 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 lower with control. Exhale as you lift up and lower with control. There's your inhale. And I like that squeeze, but I don't release. So I squeeze, don't let go, squeeze again, squeeze again. So it's a triple squeeze. Get those muscles really kicked on and then lower yourself down. And time. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to take it into a sit up with a wrist walk. So now you're going to take your towel, fold it in half, and then as you sit up, you're going to walk your wrist. So we're going to walk the wrist forward, or think walking the knuckles forward. And then as you come back down from your sit up, you're going to walk in the opposite direction. So you're going to move your wrist, walk your wrist up, take the towel with you, move your wrist, walk yourself down. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Take the work at your pace. Focus on what feels the most important to you. So if that little bit of wrist work and in the forearms helps find good work for your upper body, you're going to go in a really nice, slow sit up so you can take the time for those wrist walks. If the core work is a little bit more beneficial to you right now, you're going to go as fast as you can, get as many reps in as you can. So you might get 2 wrist walks coming up, 2 going down, but we still want to include that. Give your mind something to focus on. Even as we do those setups here, we do want to take a little periphery glance at our abdominal muscles. Make sure that they're not doming up too much. So if it looks like you're creating a big triangle of muscles as you sit up, focus on drawing the muscles down towards the spine as you come up into that sit-up position. All right, now the next time you come down onto the ground, you're going to rearrange your towel again so you can get that long hold. Once you've got your long hold, arms up and overhead, and then we're going to start with little oblique twists. So you're going to twist your legs from one side to the other. You're not going to get very far without finding that tipping over sensation. So you're going to go just to the point where you feel those side belly muscles, your oblique muscles kick on, and then bring it right back in. We got 30 seconds with the towel overhead, or over across the chest, I should say. Keep a little bit of tension. So we're pulling apart on the towel. Your knees are dropping from side to side in a slow, controlled manner, just to the point where you feel like you're going to tip and then bring it back in. 3 more seconds. Okay, now arms are going to come out nice and wide like a T. Arms are going to be our brace. And now we're going to take our oblique twist a little bit further, moving a little bit deeper into that work. And time. Nice job. Okay, now pull your left knee into your chest. Let your right leg go nice and long. Hang out there for a second. Take a breath. And we're going to move right into our stretch from here. So we're going to take that left knee over to the right into a supine twist. Left knee over to the right, left arm opens wide. We're going to hang out here for 30 seconds. So open up into your twisted position and then just take a couple of nice deep breaths. Ten more seconds. All right, when you're ready, switch, pull the right knee into your chest, left leg goes nice and long, and then we take that supine twist over to the other side. And then once you're there, all you got to do is breathe. And time. Awesome. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze and then rock and roll your way up to a seated position. In your seated position, we're going to go for a butterfly. So soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. Take a couple little light flaps to the knees. Keep them a little bit more up rather than down. So think about almost as if you're trying to pull both knees up to your shoulders. So get that little bit of an upward flap. One more little upward flap and then let the legs fall to a slightly neutral position. Hands are going to find the insides of the knees. Your hands are going to create the resistance. Knees are going to push up into your hands. So push your knees up, create that resistance, hold that tension, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax your knees down, come for a little hip hinge, lean your heart forward and then come right back out of it. Hands to the knees push up into the hands, hold that tension, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that tension, fold forward just a little bit, come right back up. Last one here, hands to the knees push up into the hands resist, hold that resistance, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that tension, fold yourself forward, and this time go as far into your fold as feels good. And then once you're there, take 3 nice deep breaths. Nice. And then come up and out of your fold nice and slow. Help your legs come together. Come all the way up to a standing position. Come up in any way that makes sense. And then we're going to do a nice big up and overhead reach. Grab one wrist, lift, tip over, take a little side bend, take a nice big breath. Wonderful. When you're ready, come through center, switch your grip, lift up, tip over, and then come there and take a breath. Awesome. Lift up through center. We're going to hook our thumbs. So you're going to put that little hook on your thumbs, pull your thumbs apart, bend your knees a little bit, hip hinge. We're going to come to that halfway folded point with a little bit of a tug on our thumbs. So pull apart, push your butt back, hang out here, take a breath. And now we're going to soften all the way down to the ground. So you're going to let your hands soften down towards the ground, bend your knees a little bit more, let your head hang nice and heavy. Beautiful. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, slow roll your way up to standing. Take your time. Grab your 9-inch Pilates ball if you're sticking around. You guys are amazing. Nice work today, safely. And then we're going to come back to those unbalanced squats. So once you've got your ball, set your ball down on the ground, go 1 foot on, 1 foot off. And obviously for this one, we're not going to go into that standing leg balance. So we're just going to put 1 foot on, 1 foot off, and then sink into a little squat, push your butt back, keep your chest and chin lifted, come back up, and just focus on pushing down into your standing leg. So you want to think about pushing with intention into your foot. Nice. Two more on this side. Awesome. Now, before we switch to the other side, pass that ball right between your ankles. Get a little squeeze between your ankles. Lift your heels up, lower your heels down. Lift your heels up, lower your heels down. Nice. And then sometimes I find, rather than trying to like hold and grip onto my balance, if I try to just get a little bit taller, I can find a little bit more room upward rather than trying to ground downward. Awesome. One more up and down. And then pass that ball underneath your other foot and then back to that squatting position. So 1 foot on, 1 foot off, butt back, bend your knees, keep your chest and chin lifted, push into your standing leg. So find that intention of pushing down into your standing leg to come up. Nice. Two more to go. Awesome. Last one. So we went for about 8. So if you didn't make all of them, do a couple more. And then when you're ready, step that ball back between your ankles, get that little squeeze between your ankles, and then away we go, lifting up, lowering down. But now think about lifting up through the top of your head. And then even as you lower your heels down, your head's going to still get a little bit taller up towards the sky. Nice job. One more up and down. And now we're going to take that ball and move it on up between the knees and the inner thighs. We're going to add that little bit of a squat and a calf raise. So we're going to keep that nice, good intentional squeeze. Squeeze your butt cheeks together just a little bit. Find that good intentional squeeze, and then go butt back, bend your knees, straighten up, squeeze the glutes. Keep that intentional squeeze of your butt. Lift your heels, lower your heels. Relax that squeeze of your butt. Sit back into your squat. Come back up, squeeze your butt cheeks together, lift your heels, lower your heels, sit back into your squat. Come back up, squeeze your butt cheeks, lift your heels, lower your heels. 3 more to go. Get that good squeeze on the butt as you lift your heels. Nice job. Last one. Okay, now grab that ball from between your inner thighs, and now we're going to put a little bit of tension on. So press your palms, keep that good press between the palms, lift your arms up as high as you can, keeping that intentional squeeze, and then keep that squeeze, lower your arms down as low as you can. Keep that squeeze, lift your arms up, keep that squeeze, lower your arms down. Keep that squeeze, lift your arms up. Keep that squeeze, lower your arms down. 3 more to go. Okay, now we're going to bring the ball straight out in front of our chest. Keep that intentional squeeze on the ball. Bend your elbows and then straighten them out again. Keep a little bit of that press between your palms. Keep a slight bit of firmness in your belly. Keep a slight lift from the arches of your feet. Wonderful. Now, the next time your elbows bend, we're going to stay in that bent elbow position. We're going to keep that bit of tension between the palms. And now we're going to pump the arms up and down. It does not need to be some big grand range of motion, but we want that intentional squeeze. So the palms are pushing into the ball. Lift your elbows up, lower them with control. Keep your belly slightly firm. Keep the arches of your feet lifting upward. And then once you've got that going on, 4 more to go, but keep your gaze forward. Keep your eyes focused forward and don't move your head. Let your eyes stay focused and the ball moves up and down past your vision. Nice. 1 more up and down. And then we're going to come down into tabletop position and we're going to put the ball behind one knee. So if you like to cushion your knees, take a second, double stack your mat, do any little comfort care things that make the most sense to you. And then take that ball, tuck it between the back of your right thigh and the back of your calf. Get that little bit of a hug in and squeeze. And now we're going to just go for a donkey kick. Lift the leg up, lower it down. Lift the leg up, lower it down. Upper half of the body stays as stable as it can. 4 more to go. Okay, on this last one, we're going to lift and hold and then go up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Okay, now we're going to hold it up there and do a little pulse. And we're pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that knee down. Remove that ball from underneath the back of your legs. Pull your butt back towards your heels. Take a breath. And then as we come forward, we're going to tuck that ball behind the other leg. So we're going to tuck it between the back of the thigh and the calf, and then give that little hug and squeeze. Once you've got that little hug and squeeze, donkey kick. We lift the leg up, lower it with control. Upper body stays as stable as it can. Beautiful. On this last one, we're going to hold it up there and then go up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Nice job. Last one here, and then we're going to hold it up there and take it into a pulse. So a slightly more rapid movement, pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go 1 more second just for Karen, and then Saved by the Bell. Lower that leg down nice and slow and controlled. Grab that ball from behind you, pull your butt back toward your heels. Take a little stretch, take a breath. Beautiful. Now come back up to your tabletop position. We're going to place the ball under one single palm. So you're going to be in a slightly lopsided tabletop position. And I like to bring my body weight slightly into my more standing hand so that the ball underneath your arm has a little bit of room to move. So slightly leaning to your left hand with the ball under your right. And now you're going to draw some circles, but try to make the movement come out of the shoulder. So it's not bending the elbow so much as drawing nice small circles, circling out of the shoulder, a light massage that happens in the palm and the hand. If you're circling in one direction, switch directions, go the other way. Awesome. 1 more circle around, and then we're going to go out puppy pose, single arm style. So right hand is going to take the ball with, walk it out in front of you, swing your left hand in so the left hand is in a perpendicular position across your mat, and then let your forehead rest on your left forearm. Right arm is stretched out, resting on the ball. Take 3 nice deep breaths. Come back up nice and slow and controlled, and we're going to pass that ball to the other hand. So we're going to have a slightly uneven tabletop position. Left arm is going to try to stay nice and straight. Flat palm on the ball, draw your circles. Try to make those circles come out of the shoulder rather than the elbow. And then when you're ready, circle the other way. Nice. One more circle around and then take it into that single arm puppy pose. So the left arm is going to take the ball forward. Right hand is going to go perpendicular across your mat. Let your forehead rest on your right forearm. Left arm is stretched out as far as it will go. And then once you're there, take a couple nice deep breaths. Lovely. When you're ready, slowly and gently bring yourself back up. And now we're going to spin it around so that we're sitting on our butt. And we're going to take the ball and put it underneath one foot. We're just going to massage the bottom of the foot. So if you prefer, if you would rather, so this gives you that soft massage and it kind of catches the skin a little bit, especially if you have one of those textured Pilates balls. So we're just going to kind of roll gently through the foot. But if your feet are giving you any sort of position where you would rather go with your deeper massage balls, feel free to grab your other balls if that feels more beneficial. But if it feels okay to be here, just a little bit of a light roll forward and back. And then as you do this work here, allow your foot to kind of be soft into the ball so that you can feel the texture of the ball making contact with your foot, with the sole of your foot, with your heel, with your toes, and just notice those little subtle variations of how your foot feels in connection with the ball. Nice. One more roll through the bottom of that foot, and then we're going to switch to the other foot. So step it across or pass it over with your hand, however you get there. And then once your foot is on the ball, roll it forward and back. And then same thing here, just kind of tune in and notice, how does the texture of your foot feel? How does the temperature of your foot feel? Can you notice those little subtle variations of texture of the ball? Beautiful. One more roll forward and back. And now we're going to pass the ball over underneath the right calf muscle. So we're going to get it underneath the right calf and then just go for middle of the calf muscle. Then once you've got your leg nice and heavy on the ball, take a moment to just let your leg get heavy, let the muscle tissue in your leg get nice and heavy. And then once you feel like you've got the muscle tissue in the leg pretty heavy, point and flex your foot. One more point and flex, and then we're going to use our left leg. We're going to use our arms. Pick your butt up and just do a nice long glide, gliding along the back of the calf muscle. And now trying to keep that calf muscle soft and heavy into the ball as you can. Wonderful. One more glide forward and back, and then set your butt down, pass the ball over to the other leg. So we're going to go for the middle of the calf. Let the muscle get nice and heavy. Pause there for a moment, take a breath. And then add the point and flex of your foot. Beautiful. One more point and flex, and then use your supporting leg, use your arms, lift your butt up, and then glide yourself forward and back. Nice. One more glide forward and back. And then we're going to pass that ball back over to the other leg. But now we're going to place it underneath the bend of the knee. So you're going to put the ball underneath the bend of your knee. And then the left leg is going to come like almost as if it's going for a tree pose, right? So the foot's going to come towards the inner thigh with a nice bent knee position. And then how far away or close it is, just whatever feels the most comfortable. So ball is underneath the extended leg, under the bend of the knee. And then we're going to think up and over with the belly. Reach past your knee towards your toes. Doesn't matter if you can touch your toes, but we want that nice folded position with the ball underneath to support. And then once you've found that soft folded position, soften the back of your body, soften the back of your neck, take 3 nice deep breaths. Beautiful. Now come up and out of that fold. We're going to pick up the bend of our knee, move that ball underneath your thigh. And now we're going to do a couple of big glides. So you're going to let your butt be as heavy as you can. I'm barely hovering my butt off the ground so I can get as much of my body weight onto that ball as I can. And I'm just barely gliding my butt above the ground. Take one more glide forward and back. And now we're going to turn ourselves sideways and we are going to roll the IT band. So with this soft ball and a little bit of support, you're going to glide across the side of your thigh. I'm not putting my full body weight on, although you could. The ball is really nice and soft and squishy, so it's not going to put too much tension on the IT band. But the IT band is meant to hold our thigh in our thigh shape, so we don't want to get it too out of shape. So roll yourself up and down with as much downward pressure as feels good. Take about 1 or 2 more rolls up and down, and then we're going to lift up and off and move that ball underneath the other bend of our knee. So pass it over and across. So it's under the left leg bent. Right leg is going to come in like it's coming for that tree pose. Think up and over with the belly, fold towards your foot. Does not matter if you can touch your foot, just find a little bit of extension through the spine and then soften. Once you found that folded position, soften through the back of your body, soften through the back of your neck, and just come back to your breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly bring yourself up and out of that fold. We're going to lift the leg up just enough so that we can move the ball underneath the back of the thigh and then re-support with the right leg and do that glide. So we're going to put as much downward body weight as you can. Hover your butt just barely above the ground and let your arms and your leg help support you in that forward and back glide. Beautiful. One more forward and back, and then we're going to turn to the side. So we're going to get onto the side of the thigh. You're going to support it in any way that feels good. You can put as much body weight on. I'm keeping that bottom foot kind of flexed and hovering, but you can let it be soft and drag. So you find the way that you get to the side of that thigh in the way that makes the most sense to you, even if that means coming off the ball altogether and using your hand and manually going up down the side of the thigh. So get to the side of that thigh in a way that makes the most sense to you. Take one more time up and down, and then we're going to flip over onto our backside. So take the ball with you, come onto your backside. We're going to lift the hips up, put the ball right underneath your butt. And then once you've got it underneath your butt, we're going to take it right into that marble drop. So you're going to imagine that you've got a marble on your hip point and you're just trying to drop it from side to side. So you're just kind of letting your hips swivel almost in a figure 8 pattern. Let your arms start to come out at your sides so that they're nice and wide and giving you a little bit of support. One more nice glide side to side, and then find your center again. Make sure the ball is sort of centered around your tailbone. Once you've got it centered, right knee is going to pull in towards your chest. Left leg is going to slide out nice and long. Take one more breath, and then we're going to switch. Left knee is going to pull in towards the chest. Right leg is going to go nice and long. You're going to hug that left knee in, get that little squeeze, and then just come back to your breath. 3 nice deep breaths here. Beautiful. Now we're going to set both feet down. So slide your legs in. So you're coming to that bent knee hip bridge position, but now we're going to lift the butt up and you're going to move the ball underneath the low back. So we're going to get up above the tailbone in that low back area. And then once you found that low back area, you're going to lower your back. So you're going to let your tailbone kind of droop past the edge of the ball and then take it into a little micro pelvic tilt. So you're going to keep that ball massaging the low back. So it's above the tailbone in the small of the back. Scoop your tailbone under and then scoop your tailbone up. Lovely. One more little pelvic tilt, and then you're going to see how it feels to walk your legs nice and long. So it's in that back bended position, but we do want to keep a slight bit of support. So you may feel like the front of your abdomen is still a little bit firm. Once your legs are nice and long, reach your arms up and overhead if you can. Think big good morning stretch. Reach through your fingers, reach through your feet. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then walk your feet in. We're going to prop ourselves up on our elbows. So bring your elbows down, prop yourself up just enough so that you can move that ball up into the middle of your back. And then once you've got it into the middle of your back, come back into your back bend. Feet are going to stay on the ground. We're going to stick with that bent knee position from here. So check in with this back bend here. You may feel a little bit of expansion in your ribs, a little bit of a puffiness in the belly. Notice that puffiness, notice that expansion, and then see if you can take 3 nice deep breaths into your rib cage. Think inhale, rib cage expands open. Exhale, ribs draw in towards each other. One more breath. And now you're either going to move yourself or you're going to move your ball, but now we're going to glide up just a little bit so the ball is coming about bra line or underneath the shoulder blade area. And then once you've got your way there, hands behind the head, and now we're going to do those little crunches. So we're going to lower over the ball, crunch up, lower over the ball, and crunch up. And then see if you can use your breath here. Inhale as you drop over the ball, exhale as you crunch up. The next time you come up into that crunched up position, now we're going to push into the feet, pick up your butt, and then start to glide. So we're going to go for that big glide up and down. We're going to glide to the shoulder blades, maybe slightly past the shoulder blades, and then all the way up towards the cervical spine. One more glide up and down. And then the next time you glide up, we're going to get up in the middle of the shoulders. So think almost up to the cervical spine. Get as high up in that upper back area as you can, but stay in the middle. So we're going to stay on that spinal line. Lower your butt down. Let your head drop back. Let your arms open out nice and wide. So you got that ball underneath that upper back, in between the shoulder blades. Let your chest open out nice and wide. Let your head drop back. Now, if this is not a comfortable position for your head and your neck, you'll make readjustments so that your head feels good. But once you've got your head and your neck in a good position, arms open wide, come back to that breath in the rib cage. Think about inhaling and expanding the rib cage, exhaling and drawing the rib cage in towards each other. Take one more breath. And then we're just going to lift up just enough so that we can roll to one side. So we're going to lift up, roll to one side, and then get that ball so that it's underneath your armpit. And we're going to get as heavy onto the armpit as we can, but the bottom arm wants just a little bit of hover to move and glide. So if you've got your side lying position, the ball is just going to come a little forward and back across the armpit. So get on as much weight as you can. Come to that side lying position, let that bottom arm kind of hover, and then use your top hand to help bring you into that forward and back glide. One more forward and back glide. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift off and do it to the other side. So either spin yourself around, roll yourself to one side. I'm going to flip myself so I'm facing out, but the same principle applies. We get that ball underneath the armpit, and essentially the ball is coming forward towards the chest and then back towards the back. So in your side lying position, that bottom arm lays nice and low. Top arm can help move you. I like to pick up my bottom hand and just give it a little hover, but you can find that movement in any way that feels the best to you. Nice. One more little forward and back. And then we're going to come up to a wide leg seated position. So bring yourself up, take your ball with you, get your legs into as wide of a configuration as feels manageable that you could sit in for a few minutes. And then once you've got your legs in a nice wide position, ball into the hand, we're going to hold on tight and do that little jar open. So you're going to twist and turn like you're trying to open the lid of a jar. So one hand is just going to hold and the other hand is going to do that grip and turn. Nice. One more little grip and turn, and then hang on to that ball with that hand, make your claw, and then do the little grip and turn like you're trying to open a jar. Beautiful. One more little grip and turn, and then soft and loose, just gently roll out the palms. Take the ball to the belly, put a little bit of pressure on, draw some circles in one direction. Draw your circles the other way. Beautiful. Now we're going to take it shoulder to shoulder, but now we're going to flip the legs in. So bring your legs into a crisscross applesauce position. And then once you've got the crisscross applesauce position, bring that ball with a little bit of tension. So you're going to push down, roll across over to the other shoulder, push down and in, and roll across. And take a few times going across. Nice. One more time from side to side, and then even gentler across the front of the neck and the throat. So a soft and gentle pass from one side of the neck to the other. Beautiful. One more pass from side to side, and then we're going to bring it right to the center of the forehead with that doorknob turn. So we want to feel like the grip of the ball catches that skin and connective tissue a little bit. So you're going to push in and do that little doorknob turn. It looks a little silly, but it feels good when you grab that skin and kind of massage it in that little twisting action. Don't twist it so hard that you injure your skin. You want to feel that little catch and then release and then twist the other way. One more little twist and turn, and then pause just for a moment, draw little micro circles. And then when you're ready, release your ball to your lap, and then just take a moment to just let your eyes close down, give your eyebrows a little wiggle. Smush your face around just enough. And then we're going to take our forefingers to the center of our third eye and just drag out to the temple, just to massage out that forehead to make sure that we soothe it out in a really nice way. Nice. One more little drag. And then when you're ready, release. You guys are done. Be sure to drink plenty of water after doing all of that work.